Hello all and welcome back to Random Librarians here on YouTube. So today is the first in a series that I've been thinking of doing for a little bit now, because even people that I know go to the library all the time don't seem to realize exactly how much of a wealth of information is right at their fingertips on their smartphone through their public libraries. So this series is going to be kind of a deep dive into different apps that your public library likely gives you access to. And today we're going to focus on Libby because that is the one that I use the most, and I'm really excited about it. So that's the plan for today. I also kind of think of this series as ways that you can either supplement or even cancel the paid options that you do this for, like Audible for audiobooks or Kindle if you do Kindle Unlimited. For other app options that we're going to talk about down the line, there are options for replacing Netflix or Amazon Prime, and one of them is not necessarily through your library, but it's a free app that I think should be recommended because I really like it. So we're going to loop it right in with the rest of them and just gloss over the fact that it's not through your library. So today, Libby, let's get into it. Okay, now that the lighting is actually a little bit better, we can actually get into it. So I'm just gonna set up the screen recording on my phone and have that going on one side of my head, wherever it fits when I do editing. 2, 1, Libby! So the Libby app, I believe, is run through OverDrive, but it's a little bit easier to use in my opinion. So we have, for me, it's from the Boston Public Library, so the home screen has that on it, and then it usually has a couple of different kind of recommended topics with a couple of books, and I think it just clicks into like a larger list of those. I don't usually explore that way, but you can click through at the bottom to see what type of different reading you want to take part in, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, romance, literature, fantasy, mystery, historical fiction, thriller, or more. Then we have all of these cozy mysteries, which is a lot. I've had a bit of a rough start with cozy mysteries, so hopefully one of these days I will find one that I like as much as I enjoyed the Miss Marple series. Then we have romance series starters, we have some thrillers, self-help, recently on NPR, instantly available audiobooks, just added, and so much more. Oh my goodness. I don't remember the homepage being this long last time I scrolled through. Okay, there's the end. So, for Libby, it is primarily books and audiobooks. They also have this Explore tab here, and my favorite thing that they have at the BPL that I don't know if they do for all Libby apps, but there's a skip the line option. And usually there will be up to like 4, possibly 6 titles that you can just check out right away. This is how I read Michelle Obama's Becoming. I didn't have to wait in line for a really long hold. It was just available one day and I got to pick it up. So that's usually pretty fun. It is currently 1 o'clock, so maybe all of them have been checked out today. Then we have the what's available, which is always good as well, because if you want something right away and you don't want to wait for it, that's where you can go to find the different audiobooks or ebooks that you want to dive into. So these are just kind of different ways that you can search what's new and popular, age ranges, different languages. This is really interesting for French because they have the whole Harry Potter series. So I send a lot of people here because we don't keep translations at my place of employment, and people are always looking for the Harry Potter books in French. So send them to Libby, which I think means that those books probably have a holds list on them, but still a great resource. Then, so that's kind of like the ways that you can search, the ways that you can discover different kinds of books. And then we also have your shelf, which holds all of your loans and all of your reading history. I am currently listening to Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts by Kate Racculia, which I am loving. I feel like there is a shortage of books set in Boston, and this one really feels like a love letter to Boston, and because it feels like a grown-up version of the Westing Game, which I just re-listened to and absolutely loved all over again. So this is just very fun to me. I've been listening to it on my commute. I've been listening to it just like in bed. I've been listening to it when I'm doing nothing else, and it is so great. It makes me really happy because I live here, so I recognize all of the different street names that they're doing, and I know all of the different places they're talking about, and I just feel like I'm part of the adventure because I can go and walk right where they are, and it'll like basically give me a path to follow. While I wouldn't recommend going down a T hallway, tunnel, where the trains are coming from, it's still really fun to me that they have Park Street as like the first stop on this adventure for $5 million or whatever, and they get to go inside old Back Bay mansions, and anyways, that's a different video, but that's what I'm listening to right now. I loved the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. That was really good. Oh, I can return that though. So you can also, this is a great way to show you. So this is a something you can do. If you click in to Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil Manage Loan, you can return it early. There's an option to renew a loan, but here, because it is pretty popular, I can't renew it, but I can place a hold on it, which I'm not going to do because I'm going to return it early because 7 people are waiting and that person is probably going to be pretty happy. So, return early. It does that. I don't know what these flowers do, but it's pretty fun. And they thank you for clicking on it, so like, maybe I should only do that on books that I like. So, I tend to read these on my Kindle, so I am currently reading Winter Street. I probably should have waited to check out the second one until I was done with the first one, but here we are. So this is what we've got. And then these are the recent returns, whether they're finished or not. And these little calendars that come with them will give you an idea of how long your hold will take to come through. I didn't have enough time to read the Bone Houses, which is a bummer because it was off to such a great start, but I should be able to have it back in 26 weeks. So that's that. I'm going to take you back to the what's available section so I can show you how this works. So if we go to available books, we'll get ebooks, obviously. Available audiobooks give us audiobooks. All available titles give you both. So let's do audiobooks, because this is my favorite app specifically for audiobooks. I think it's great for Kindle books as well, but I have to figure out more on the like Kindle side of things why it leaves a note for me when the book goes back to the library, and how to get rid of that note because they are really cluttering up my Kindle device. I don't love it. So for audiobooks, it's really easy because you can just immediately download them and start listening to them right away. I am going to... Oh wow, there's like a lot of books here that I actually wanted to read, so that's pretty cool. So actually, before we get into borrowing, I am going to just show you how to tag things. I have a couple of different ones. They give you the first 3. So the book stack, the thumbs up, and the thumbs down are the 3 lists that you are preloaded with, and then you can create your own. I have one called What, because there was a book that I found that I don't understand at all what it is, and maybe I'll do a future video on like all of the books that I find that make me say that out loud. So this one I'm going to put to the book stack because I want to read it, and the reason I love this app is because it is very, very simple. Let's see. So we're just scrolling. Keep seeing like a bunch that I want to read. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna borrow Amy Poehler's Yes Please because I have not actually read that yet, which feels very upsetting. So we are just going to hit borrow, and then it will automatically be in my shelf. So go to shelf, and it is the second one. It is a recent loan on my shelf, and then from there I can manage it. It'll tell you when it's due. It's due on the 1st of January. From there you can return it early when it gets closer to the due date. I think it's 2 days before you can renew it, possibly the day before. And I have 14 days with this audiobook. Then we're going to go back to what's available and go into books so I can show you how. Oh my gosh! Okay, so this is actually a Lucky Day read, and I don't know why it wasn't in the Lucky Day option, but City of Girls. So you can click into the different pages to see how it's described. And this one, if you want to pause and read what it's about, if you have not yet seen this one, it is very hyped, and it's also available as an audiobook. Great. So there are 51 copies of this available, which makes sense for books that are very hyped. And here we are. So then it gives you some other recommendations. I think possibly just based on, what's available and what's popular. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to hit borrow. Hopefully it'll let me do that. Sometimes with skip the line ones. Yep. So from here, sometimes you can read books directly in the app, and then sometimes you can hit read with Kindle. The Bone Houses didn't have a read with Kindle option. I don't know why, but I was reading that one in the app. And then this one, it goes read with Kindle, and you have to open it with a different browser. So that is kind of a weird quirk of this, but you open a different browser, you hit read book, read with Kindle, and then it goes directly to your Kindle device. And the next time you update it, it's there, you can read it. And it holds your spot if a book gets returned before you're done with it and you get it again, you pick right up where you left off. So I really like that as an option. We're gonna go back to the loan shelf now. And here we are. I feel like I should find one. Wait, what was that? I have never seen my reading journey before. That's pretty cool. So I guess that is how it keeps track of your spot within a specific book. So we're gonna go back to here. And, okay, let's see. Probably read sample. We'll just open it in the app. Yes. So this gives you a sense of how their reading in the app actually works, because I think it's well done. So you get these different kind of breaks as well, so you can skip ahead to see what's going on at that part, and it's the next part of the chapter, or a new chapter or whatever. So this is the introduction. It works kind of like the Kindle app where you tap or swipe to go to the next page, and you can bookmark things, you can look things up. I think you can highlight as well. Yep, you can highlight things. You can search for things. So it works pretty much like the Kindle app, which I like. Publisher Potter. Is that? Didn't know I was a publisher. Okay, so that is a very quick rundown of the Libby app that I have through my Boston Public Library. I would definitely say to check this out from your library if you enjoy audiobooks and ebooks, because it is so easy to use. If you don't mind waiting for the books that you want to read, or if you just want to read anything and have fun discovering things through your library, I think this is the perfect app for both of those options. And it's free, which is amazing. So, Libby app. I really recommend it, as I said. I think it is a great way to save money on things like Audible if you are an Audible user, or even to save you from the Kindle free self-published books. I tend to not love them. They tend to clutter up my Kindle because I'm like, oh, I'll read them eventually. They sound really interesting. And then either the writing is not great. Sometimes there are gems hidden, but sometimes I just not a fan. And then I'll check out an audiobook from the library instead and read those because they give me a timeline and I just have all of these free Kindle books that I'm never going to get to. So, is that a weird argument for Libby? It might be a weird argument for Libby, but regardless, I hope you will check out this app. I think it is a great app for people who love books and audiobooks and who don't want to spend money. And, you know, that's pretty helpful. You gotta love your public library for a multitude of reasons, but giving you access to resources for free is a huge one that makes me very proud to be a librarian. All told, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, or leaving your thoughts down below. Do you have any apps that you want me to explore further in this kind of genre of things? Are you curious about what's coming next? And will you be using Libby? That's the important one. Until my next video, I will see you guys over on Instagram, where I post pretty much every day at Random Librarians. And if you don't want to come over there, I will see you soon here on this channel with another bookish video. Bye guys.